Yeah, this is our third video dealing with the stream on Google Classroom. So this is the class that I created in the first video, Algebra 2 first hour. So you can see there's the title of the class. Down here is the section. Down below you have the class code. So there's the class code. This icon next to the class code will display it on the screen. And then if you want to make it full screen, down here in the bottom right of that window, so on and so forth. So down here to collapse it, in the bottom right, or up here to close the whole thing entirely. So you have this little down arrow that displays that information I entered. So I entered subject was mathematics. My room was A33. If you leave them blank, it just won't show up. Over here, you can select the theme or upload a photo. Classroom tries to be clever. I did not actually pick this automatically. It just gave me a mathy background on its own because I told it I was teaching the math class. But go to select theme. It'll give you a lovely selection of them. So general ones or English and history, math and science, so on and so forth. You choose art, sports, others. And then, or if you choose you want to upload your own, you have this option right here to upload your own. So going on down here, over here on the left, you see upcoming. It says no work due soon. When you start creating assignments and give them due dates, it'll start to show up here. View all will show I have nothing to do, so there's nothing to worry about. And then down here just gives you the brief things. So communicate with your class here, create or schedule announcements, respond to student posts. So this is where you would type, share something with your class. Over here, this icon will let you reuse a post from a previous class or another class. I'll try clicking on it, but I'm not sure how long. Yeah, sometimes it'll make me wait about it since you only have one other class. It's probably taking its time trying to find all the things. So we won't wait for it, but any other classes posts will also show up here. It'll tell you the class, the teachers created, so on and so forth. This gets a little bit tricky because sometimes it's hard to tell, especially if you name your courses vaguely like I did, Algebra 2 first hour. If I've had years and years of Algebra 2 first hour courses, it'll get real hard to pick the right post from the right year and so on and so forth. So here, this is where you can just enter, share with the class. You can type in hello there. Up here, you see this drop-down menu is getting cut off that says Algebra 2 first hour. If you select the drop-down arrow, you can select multiple classes to have them post everything. So we'll turn that back off. And over here, you see it says all students. So right now, the only option is all students. Now, if you select multiple sections, it has to go to all students. You can't pick and choose students from more than one section at a time. But if you only select one section, you could pick individual students. I'll flip back to my class from last year in just a moment to show you what that would look like. Add will let you add a link from a Google Drive, just a web link, a file you want to upload, or a link to a YouTube video. So that's what these options are. So Google Drive. So this is going to try to load up my Google Drive, and you can see all the options. So there you go. So here's the previous videos that I recorded. Overview of mandated training, mail forwarding instructions, use of the recents. You can upload, drag a file here. You can go to My Drive, so on and so forth, share drives, your stards. So My Drive, the various files that I have saved in My Drive, I can post. If you choose a link, it'll just ask you to type the link in or copy a file. It's essentially just like Google Drive. It does the same thing. So I'm not really sure why they have two different things there. And then lastly, YouTube. To insert a YouTube video, you can either do a video search. So let's look about addition. Search for all videos about addition. So here, or if you know the URL, you can either copy or literally type out the URL here, and it'll automatically find that video for you. So when you're on YouTube, you can just copy. When you're on the video you want, you can just copy that into your thing. Now, the one thing to be careful of is if you are on YouTube, underneath the video, there would typically be like a blue banner, and you'll have to click approve to make sure our students can get to it. If you do not have an approved video, you may be able to paste the link in, but the students will not be able to open it. So you have to make sure that the video is approved. but that's how to enter insert a video. Over here in the bottom right, so there's your cancel out. You don't want to actually do this post at all. A post will post immediately. And then the drop down arrow here, post, which is what it was, schedule. So you can set it to post at a later date or a time of your choice. Or you can just save it as a draft and it'll sit here under saved announcements. So then you drop it down there and there's my draft hello there. So that icon there will garbage it, or I can click on it to pull it back up. So I'm going to flip back to my other class real quick here to show what happens if you have actually students in the class. So this was once again my class from last year. So if I create an assignment here, so it automatically defaults to the course I'm currently in. So here it says all students, but if I drop this menu down, it shows all of the students who are in my class. So I can deselect all students and just randomly select, we'll send it to those two, or you can pick and choose who you want. Clicking all students will select them all again. So that's what the other option to all students is. It doesn't work for this class because I currently don't have any students in my class. So it has to default to all students. So that is a brief overview of the stream. We'll come back to this as we start adding things into classwork and stuff because more and more options will show up. Just real briefly, I will go back to my other ones. So if you notice here, these are some posts. These were where I shared. These are announcements that I made when I did my teaching from home during the fourth quarter last year. So I attached the video that I recorded by Google Meet. So this was the recording from 5/6, so on and so forth. And if you scroll down, you can see various ones, what they are. So I can add a comment to it. If students are allowed to comment, they can also post comments. I typically disable that because I don't trust them to always behave the best. And it just eliminates the temptation to comment something that's not appropriate. But that is a real brief rundown of the stream that you'll see when you're in each individual class.